Hi, this is Lee with myexbackcoach.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about how a breakup is almost always a test, even if your ex doesn't know it at the time. So, how it works is basically that your ex is going to look back on the breakup at some point, and they're going to think about you, and they're going to think about the relationship, and they're going to look back on how you handled the breakup, the news of the breakup, when they told you, when they sprung it on you. What did you do? Did you show maturity and class and dignity, or were you immature and childish? The loving response to a breakup is usually the difficult way to go. And love is not always easy. Sometimes people are difficult to love when they don't see things the way we do. They have different ideals, they have different visions, opinions, they have different histories, they have different goals for the future. And so it can be difficult to love them because of the conflict. This is true with a breakup. You don't want the breakup, they do. You need to love them anyway. And the best way to love someone when they want to break up is to respect and accept that they want the breakup. And how you do that is by giving them the breakup, which means backing away. If you are overwhelming them with your presence, if you are arguing, yelling, showing anger, contacting them repeatedly, you're not being loving. What you're actually doing is being selfish. It doesn't feel like you're being selfish because you feel like you're compelled by your love for them to get them back. But even that is selfish because you are wanting them back for yourself. And so true love looks at the other person and wants them to have what they want, what they think they want, because your ex thinks that they want to break up with you, that that's what they want, or they wouldn't be your ex. And if you can give them what they want, a lot of times they realize it's not what they wanted. Now, when your ex looks back on how you handled the breakup, they're doing this because in many times, many situations, they're thinking, maybe it would work out. Maybe we could get back together. Maybe I could give this another try. But what if your ex thinks, if I do give it another try and it doesn't work out, I have to put up with all this drama and all the anger and the anxiety that they feel being around you, this being overwhelmed with texts from you, all this negative, if they feel that that's what they have to experience, if it doesn't work out, that is going to be a reason for them not to come back to you and not to consider the relationship again. They are literally going to be talked out of it by how you responded to the breakup if you responded poorly. If you responded well, if you were obviously hurt, I'm not saying that you say, well, that's great news when they break up with you, but if you respond honestly, well, I am hurt. I will miss you, but I wish you the best. And if you change your mind, get in touch with me because I do love you. I want to be with you. And you back away because that's what they want. I'm not telling you to be manipulative. I'm saying respect them enough to show that, that you'll do what they ask you to do as far as it affects them, that you will respect their wishes, that you're a good listener. And that's the test that I'm talking about. Because as they look back and they're making their decision, the breakup itself can overwhelm the relationship, even if it was a good one. They may look back and say, I remember that great Christmas we had together and the wonderful memories and the sweet time. It was a warm and tender time for us as a couple. But then they think, but he was so selfish when I wanted to break up with him. All he could think about was himself. Not that I needed space. He just thought about himself. And he wanted to force me to come back to the relationship. Or he thinks, I remember a great time we had together on the beach. We talked, we laughed. It was just beautiful. We loved being together. But She would not leave me alone when I asked her to. When I broke up with her and she kept contacting me and I asked her to leave me alone, she wouldn't do it. So she must not respect me. So even though he has great memories of the relationship, the breakup gets to define the relationship. It's not fair because it's a difficult time and people respond emotionally in difficult times, and it's often a poor response. It's based on panic, but it can overwhelm the relationship in their mind and keep them from coming back to you. That's why I say that it's a test you take even if your ex does not realize that they are testing you. Now, you may have already messed it up and you're thinking, great, I failed the test, Lee. So why should I even bother to go forward with this? Just get on with my life, right? Not necessarily. If you have responded poorly to a breakup, here's what you can do. First, you are going to reach out to your ex by text or email, not by phone call, not by visiting. You may think, I want to do it face to face. No, your ex has asked for space. This person that you love has said, I want to be away from you for now. And though it's difficult, I'm telling you, start now by doing the loving thing, backing away, giving them their space, taking your presence out of their life because that's what they want or think they want. So texting or email is a subtle way. It's not intrusive or invasive. It's the best way to handle this. You send the text that says basically, I want to apologize for how I responded to you breaking up with me. I shouldn't have acted that way. I accept and respect your decision. I'll miss you, and I hope you have all the things that you wish for. I wish you the best in life, something like that. And just end it with, I wish you the best or goodbye, and back off. Now, they may respond. They may say thank you or I didn't mean to hurt you, something like that. You don't need to respond to that. As a matter of fact, you should not respond unless they specifically ask you a question. What you're trying to do is you're trying to press the reset button a little bit, wipe the slate a little bit clean so that you can back off and give them their space again. That's the only shot that you have. And it's very important going forward that you honor what you said, that you keep your word, and you don't start back to doing what you were doing in a couple of days because they're not responding like you want. That is a very childish way to approach it. Just because you're not getting the response that you want doesn't mean that you violate the wishes of someone else. That doesn't win love. That doesn't cause them to fall in love with you. It just manipulates and forces them to do what you want. So it's possible that even if you failed the test, that you can get a do-over, but it makes it a lot more difficult. So ideally, going forward in relationships, or if you are in the middle of a breakup right now and you're not doing the right things, start doing them. Or if you are, but you feel like you're about to break and you're about to reach out to them against their wishes, don't do it. Pass this test so that if your ex starts to miss you and think, we could make this work, maybe I should give this another chance, that they do, that they don't say, oh no, wait, if it doesn't work out and I have to break up with them again, I have to go through all this horrible, dramatic situation, that I have to go through this breakup response that they have again. You don't want them thinking that. So if you basically give them an easy breakup, they break up with you and you might say, I don't want this, but you accept that they do and you back off. If you do that, then they don't worry about getting back together with you again, because if it doesn't work out and they have to leave, they know that they're not going to be terrorized and followed and texts and overwhelmed by you, that they're not going to have to put up with the drama. That's how you want it. That's how you pass the test. For more information like this, visit my website, myexpatcoach.com, and you can also get information about setting up a private coaching session with me by phone or Skype or Google Hangout. Again, myexbackcoach.com. That's myexbackcoach.com. This has been Coach Lee, and I'll see you in another video.